Hey everyone, it's John. You might know me as Hydro. I'm the content and community lead at AtomicHub, and welcome to our first Atomic AMA. Once a week, I'm going to sit down with one of the co-founders of AtomicHub, Jona, and we're going to talk about some of the updates coming to the platform, chat about Wax and AtomicHub in general, and take some of your community questions as well. So without further ado, let's begin. Jona, thank you so much for joining me on this first Atomic AMA. It's been an incredible week or so for Wax and AtomicHub in general, and we broke our record market volume by sort of 5-6 days in a row. Currently, the price of Wax is closing in on 50 cents. So, do you have any words about that?
Yeah, it's been an exciting last week, exciting last month. Just lots and lots of things happening in the Wax ecosystem that I'm pretty excited about. I mean, we're obviously seeing a lot of these game projects, these play-to-earn projects come to life now, and really they're only getting started, which makes me even more excited for the future because like we're seeing them release like maybe beta versions now or small initial versions, but really there's so many more in development, and those that already are released now that are responsible for all this new activity, they still have a long way to go as well. So really, it makes me just excited to see what will the space look like in, I don't know, 6 months when everything is a bit more developed.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Farmer's World has leapt to our #1 collection on AtomicHub. I believe Farming Tales is our #5. And we have things like Our Planet Conquest coming soon. So there's definitely a lot of exciting things ahead for the blockchain gaming space, at least in terms of Wax and AtomicHub. So the first question I'll throw at you now is people have been asking for notifications for a while. They want an update on where we're at with them. Could you tell us any more about that?
Yeah, sure. So notifications have been quite a pain point, and probably a lot of the new users have never seen them actually work because they've been down for like probably half a year by this point. Basically, what we're going for there is just we want to be able to notify users when they when an item of theirs, when an NFT of theirs sells on the market, or when they receive a new trade offer or anything like this, just so that they don't miss any important information. And just some background as to why this went down initially. So this old system that we had that already was working relied on an old API of ours. And like beginning of the year 2021, when Alien Worlds really took off, when just the overall volume transaction count on the Wax blockchain just took off, we had to pretty much restructure the entire API to handle that new scale, that new load. And with that, the important bits that the notification system relied on went down. So it's not like there's a small bug that we just didn't fix for 6 months, but instead it's like we need to rebuild this entire system, and we want to rebuild it in a way that is better than it was before, where there's 2 big challenges. One is the scale of things. Like it's a lot easier to notify 10,000 people than it is to notify 1 million people. And the second thing is also we want to make it versatile. We want to make sure that we sort of automatically detect spam, because this could be abused by just bot accounts sending you spam trade offers just to get a new notifications, and we want to be able to detect those. So it's really a massive new system that we're building, and it's difficult because basically my co-founder Fabian, he's the only one that has been working on this, and he has a lot of work on his plate. So that's why it's always been sort of pushed behind a little bit, but it's a high priority, and we will soon have a backend engineer starting who can then also tackle this. So it hopefully shouldn't take too much longer, but that's just a bit of the background why it's taking longer. But it's definitely where we want to get it out there. It's a big priority for us.
I think people will be very reassured to hear that, and we'll I guess we'll update you on that as we get closer to the time of launch. Speaking of things that we're working on directly on the AtomicHub site, is there anything else you can tell us about what we've been working on?
Yeah, one of the big things that we've been working on for a long time, but really focused on for the last few weeks, has been the new NFT Creator. Where this has been sort of a pain point for us. The existing NFT Creator it's not too bad really. Like it works, it gets the job done, but it's quite technical. It's not super easy to understand for new users. It has some bugs in it, which is also annoying. And so our goal with this pretty much complete redesign and like new creation of a new NFT creator is to make the structure more logical, just make it more understandable for users. And then there's probably still going to be a second step of improving the UI and UX a little bit, but really this first step is just to restructure it in a way that is more logical. And we're very close to pushing out the beta version just to some creators so that they can test it out. I think our goal for that is to get it out like in the beta version this week. Then probably have a few weeks of testing iteration, but being able to release it then definitely this year. That's the goal for us.
Oh, fantastic. And again, I think that's something on the creator side that project leaders and creators have been asking for a while. So I'm sure that's going to be a big hit when it does release. And we've seen an uptick in the number of phishing scams and various, let's say, unscrupulous activity with regards to Wax and AtomicHub. I thought we'd just have a quick chat about exactly what it is we can do and what our advice would be to anybody who maybe sees some of these claim links in a Discord or a Telegram, or just so people can stay as safe as possible.
Yeah, and like these sort of scams, but let me first just explain what it is for those that aren't aware. It's the type of scam that we've seen an uptick in is these scammers creating websites with domains that look very similar to AtomicHub. Maybe they replace the I with a L, or like they just replace one single character so that it looks almost like AtomicHub. And then on this site, they basically recreate AtomicHub, not in the full functionality, but just in the design. They often create like claim links where it suggests that you just need to click this button and get something for free. But what happens in reality is that you are then logged into their fake site and are presented with a transaction that doesn't actually give you anything, but rather just drains all the NFTs or all the tokens out of your account. This is very hard for us to tackle because it's sort of out of our reach in a way that these domains are not controlled by us, obviously, and we can't impact them directly. There's sort of multiple things to be done here. One is just from a user's perspective. Whenever you see such a link, you should just be very, very careful. One of the big giveaways that you can have sort of is when you open this new site and you're asked to log in, whereas you think like you're usually automatically logged into AtomicHub, that's a sign that it likely is a scam site, and obviously you're not logged in there, so that should ring alarm bells. And then in general, you can, of course, always check just the transaction that is presented to you in your wallet, whether that be the cloud wallet or Anchor. You can just double check that it looks right. And then on our side, it's sort of twofold. One, in our own Discord, we obviously want to moderate it. Then if we can find out who is behind these sites, and that is hard, but if we can, then we can also pursue legal action, which we would want to do, but it's not easy to do this if the information isn't available, or if perhaps the information even is available, but the scammers are sitting in countries that are outside of our reach, sort of as a German company. And then the second thing, and that's perhaps the biggest thing, is the Wax team want to implement the system in their cloud wallet that just automatically detects these phishing sites and just blocks them, or at least shows a big red warning in your cloud wallet. So that obviously wouldn't affect Anchor users, but the vast majority of users do use the cloud wallet. And if the cloud wallet can sort of warn you of this, then that will hopefully stop a lot of this as well.
Yeah.
And perhaps just to also mention one other thing is we're seeing like people ask us if we can help them get their NFTs back, get their tokens back. And that's really where we can't. Like, we would love to if we could just somehow get a hold of these NFTs or these tokens, that would be cool. But of course, the whole system is decentralized, and we do believe in the value of decentralization. We wouldn't want to give it up for that. So we just don't have any authority over your NFTs or your tokens once they leave your account.
Yeah, absolutely. So sort of the main bits of advice for people at the moment would be, ideally, you should be able to trust the person who sends you a link. If somebody sends you a link to a claim link or a link to a drop, you should be able to trust that person. Then again, sometimes, people's accounts can get compromised. So also always triple check any links you get sent. Make sure it's the correct URL. Make sure if you click on it, in the top corner, you get that little padlock to say it's a safe website. Do as much as you can to try and ensure that these links are legitimate links, and you're inputting your login details into only our site. Jona, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you later today, actually.
Thank you, John. Yeah.
Thank you. That's all for this week. If you have a question that you'd like to be answered in a future Atomic AMA, then head to our Discord. We have set up a dedicated AMA questions channel in there, and we'll pick a few of those questions each week for Jona to answer. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week.